Welcome to District 32, immersion, inspiration for ambitious business owners with big dreams.
Hello, my name is Lorraine of District 32 and I am absolutely delighted to be interviewing Rob Heldon of Aria Telco Management. How are you, Rob?
Very good. How have you been?
I'm excellent, thank you.
Brilliant. Good to hear.
It's good. It's not our first rodeo. We've been many.
No, I've done this a couple of times.
Yeah. So we're in flow. We know the score.
Yeah, that's it.
So Rob, tell for the people who are viewing though, what is Aria Telco Management? What are you doing? Who do you do it for?
So Aria Telco Management essentially is a client management service business in the telecommunications space. So we've got agreements with Telstra, Optus, Vodafone partners, as well as a bunch of wholesale agreements. So our focus is providing the best solution regardless of carrier to typically business and corporate clients. But more than that is managing the relationship for them. So we've got one rule for our clients, which is regardless of who sends you the bill at the end of the month, don't worry about calling them, call us, we'll look after that for you and you get on with running your business. So we've essentially become a client services business, or we are a client services business more than just a regular sales telco type business.
Yeah, okay. And when you say telco, what's the broad range of telco?
So telco is essentially your mobile services, phone systems, NBN, larger data links, all of that sort of thing, all encompassing. We don't really get into the IT space so much. We leave that to the professionals there, but it's more the actual services themselves, delivering the services.
Beautiful. And what sort of clients are you working with at the minute? What size and what sort of, what jobs have you got on at the minute?
Yeah, there's a bit of a range. I mean, our sweet spot is for clients that are spending minimum sort of $1,000 to $2,000 a month, because at that stage we can actually make a bit more of a difference for them. We've got loads of smaller clients, having said that are, $200, $300, $500 a month, up to our larger clients that spend anything up to $20,000 a month just purely on their telco services. So we've got the whole range, but as I said, our sweet spot is the $1,000 to $2,000 plus, because that's where we feel we can actually make some sort of impact for them.
And I know that's a great impact, but you also make an impact on those little guys as well. Yeah.
We try to help everybody.
Your level of service is just absolutely phenomenal. I
appreciate that. Thank you.
What people can expect. So why are you in business, Rob? Well, what did you do before? How come you ended up in this business?
So I've actually been in telco for pretty much the entirety of my career, the last 20 plus years. I started off doing door-to-door sales and all of that, and worked through Telstra partners, Optus partners, Vodafone partners. So I got a good feel of how everybody does it. One of the things that really stood out to me was that these big telco companies, everything for them is focused on the sales target. We need to hit the sales target. We don't, in many circumstances, care about how we get there. We just need to get there. And as much as they promise the world to their clients, there's not really the backup service the service to back that up. I've kind of flipped everything on the head with my company, where I've said, okay, well, if I want to do this the way I feel that my clients deserve to be looked after, I'm going to have to go out and do it myself. So while I still sell their products, there's some really great products across all of the brands. The company isn't, as I said, it's not a sales company. We don't have sales targets. We don't have quotas that we have to reach each month or quarter or year or any of that sort of stuff. It's purely focused on the service aspect for the clients. So no sales target, purely service focused, carrier agnostic. So we've got deals from all over the place so we can get what's genuinely best for the client. And that's essentially what I'm building the business on, and what I have built it on to this point.
And there's some beautiful lessons in there, because service is sales.
Well, it is. It really is. You provide the service, and that's, organisation like District, being part of District 32 has been amazing for me, because when we do provide that level of service and all of the members get in and talk to each other about our service, and I've been able to obviously leverage that and get quite a client base out of being a member of or sponsor of District 32. It's been amazing.
Oh, thank you very much for that, Rob. So look, what you've already said this, but I'm going to ask you again. Like, if you were to say, what were your main points of difference between you and other management providers, or direct? What's your points of difference?
So the main two things for us is, number one, there really aren't many, if any, management providers, at least in Perth, maybe in Australia. There's a couple that I do know of over east, but within Perth, I'm not aware of any management providers. There's plenty of telcos out there and what have you. But the other main difference is the fact that, and it was the majority of my career up until a few years ago starting ARIA, is when you're working for one of those providers or when you're representing one of those providers, you're only selling their product. So there's many situations that I came across where in previous roles where I'd go in to see a client and I knew that the product that was the only product I could sell because that's who we were representing wasn't right for that client. Whereas now I can go, and for me, it was all about removing friction for businesses to do business with me, was to go in and say, okay, well, regardless of whether you need Telstra's coverage because you're traveling outside of the metro areas or you're purely metro based and you just need the best price or you need the biggest data allowance because you guys use a ridiculous amount of data. It was so that I could put together a solution that was going to be right for them. And I think that's one of the biggest differences between ARIA and the traditional telco sales business is they're only really selling one product. They're only really selling one network. They might be, for example, they might be selling Optus, but they can sell Optus phone systems, Optus mobiles, and Optus NBN, but they're only selling the Optus product. If there's a better product that's more suitable for the client, they don't have access to it, whereas we do. So I think that's really the biggest thing that sets us apart from the rest, other than the management side, is being able to actually offer multiple solutions for the client.
Which is really powerful there, because what you're saying, we can get you the best product at the best price, and I'm going to give you the best service, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I can move you from your existing provider to your existing provider through me and still get you a better deal, particularly if you're in that sweet spot of your client.
Yeah, well, and the other side of that is as well, a lot of the clients that we come across don't actually move provider. So the amount of times that I'll come across somebody that's on, say, Telstra, and they need Telstra, they need the coverage, which is why they're there, I'll just get them a much better deal than what they're paying because they've been led to believe that what they're on is the correct deal for them. But there's so many different plans and ways of doing things that a lot of the time I don't even have to change carriers for clients. I just get them a better deal with who they're with.
Fantastic. It's just and it's just about people just don't know your service exists, as you say, because you're the only one in Perth. So it's just about
exactly. I'm trying my best to get it out there. But there's only so much, but it's the other side of it as well is split fleets. I've got a number of clients that will have a certain percentage of their services that do, and this is mobile services we're talking about, that do go more regionally, so they need the better coverage, but they do have a bunch of them that are metro. So they'll get 2 accounts every month. They'll get one from, say, Optus or Vodafone and the other one from Telstra. But instead of, if they ever have a question or an issue or what have you, instead of going, okay, who is this account with? Which one do I need to call? Okay, I need to call this 1300 number or this person or that. They just come to me for everything. Yeah. And they don't have to care whether it's a Telstra service or a Vodafone service or not. Like we handle the lot.
And I've had that as well. I know we don't have hundreds of phones, but we've got some phones that have a really personal service from you. I've had home delivery. I've had you on the phone to Optus when I'm too busy in meetings all day and I don't have the time to take out my day to actually phone them to get it sorted.
Yeah.
So and
that's it, right? That's
phenomenal.
That's where it is that exactly that. You're running a business. You don't have time to sit on the phone and let's face it, most people when they call these networks, they call the regular 1300 number. They're sitting on the phone for half an hour, 2 hours, if not longer, speaking to somebody that is on the other side of the world most of the time that doesn't really care. They're getting paid $4 an hour to read a script. They don't care about your service. So that's where we come in. We say, look, we've got contacts within all of the major networks. So if you come to us, something that might take you an hour will take us 2 minutes, 5 minutes. It's, and it's just that having that service there is essentially why we've built the business to be able to provide that in a situation where nobody else was doing that. It was all telco traditionally is all about, as I said before, just hit your sales target, move on. They can deal with the customer service team.
Yeah. Well, I think it's wonderful, and the big name is there. We're the only one Perth. Talk to us, right? Or WA.
Well, that I'm aware of. There may be another. I'm not aware of anybody.
We can say it as long as you're not aware of it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Rob, what gets you out of bed in the morning?
Well, a few things. My little girl kicking me in the head half the time, but it's I need breakfast, Daddy. No, look, for me, the thing is, from a business point of view is it's just about getting out there and making sure that my clients are looked after the way that I feel like they should be. I mean, growing the business has been very enjoyable for me. It's the first business I've ever started. So to get it to this point already, I'm very happy about. And for me, it's more about that. It's more about the process. So I was actually having the conversation with another D32 member yesterday about this sort of thing. I don't have some sort of big BHAG end goal. I don't want to be Telstra. I don't want to be Optus. I don't want to be this giant carrier. So for me, it's more about the process of actually growing the business rather than some incredible end goal of living on an island in the Bahamas. You know, it's just the process. It's the day-to-day work. I actually love, and everybody thinks I'm insane for this, I love speaking to Telstra and Optus and dealing with clients on the day-to-day stuff and sorting all of these issues out and getting new phone systems. It's just a process for me. It's the whole lot that is why I do what I do.
You got to love what you do because you don't have more time, money, and freedom, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. And, you know, there's a lot of hours. You know yourself, there's a lot of hours that you put into running your own business. But when you're doing something that you actually love doing, it doesn't feel like work. You're enjoying it. Like, what else am I going to be doing? Go to the pub and getting drunk? Like, that's not me. I don't want to be.
You don't have time for that anymore.
No, exactly.
So, look, Rob, where did the name come from?
Well, Aria is my daughter's name. So the business all revolves around her. The original, actually going back to that, the original reason I set the business up from the outset was, other than from the business point of view of wanting to provide a service that just wasn't there for clients, was to be able to provide a living to look after my little girl. You know, to be able to provide a lifestyle for me and her that I wanted to be able to give her. And so that's why the company was named after her from the beginning. And yeah, she loves it. She loves the fact that Daddy's always on the phone talking about Aria, this, Aria, that, this. But it's always, for me, everything. And I've got a picture of her right above my desk here. It's like everything for me is about her. At the end of the day, that's my own personal why I'm growing this business personally.
Thank you, Rob. Service-based, family man. Links in there, doing it for the joy of it, not for the money of it. Rob, it has been an absolute pleasure. Again, how can people get in contact with you?
Just all the usual ways. The website, we've got a Facebook page, LinkedIn. So ariatelcomanagement.com.au is our website. We've got our 1300 number, 1300 959517, or obviously email and LinkedIn, Facebook. They're the easiest ways.
Rob, thank you very much. As usual, it has been an absolute pleasure. And I'll
love it. Thanks so much, Lorraine. Always great to talk to you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
You've been listening to District 32, immersion, inspiration for ambitious business owners with big dreams.